Good morning, everybody. Just Graham here from The Great Wake Up with another video for you to digest. Now, in today's video, what I wanted to discuss is it's going to be a really controversial topic. It's going to be frowned upon by a vast number of people as well, and it's going to be like ridiculed. It's going to be one of those videos where most people will just look at it and turn off straight away. Why? Because it's dealing with one of the highest truths there is, and the highest truth there is are you able to be with yourself? Are you able to be with yourself? What does that mean? Well, look at the world we live in today. The world we live in today. Look at the Matrix movie. Now, remember that scene in the Matrix where they've got like a plug in the back of the head, they're plugged into the system, they're plugged into this mainframe, they're plugged into this false reality that they believe is real, and then their energy is zapped and sucked from them and all this. Well, why do you think The Matrix was made? It's made as a documentary to show you what's going on in the real world. That is the human farm for the globalist bankers, and we're all collateral and slaves to the system through our birth certificates, meaning that we are literally self-perpetually, we're powering the machine that's enslaving us. We're powering the machine that's enslaving us. So then all we've got to do then is distract the people who know the truth, and then offshoots like spirituality and all these other various things like, vlogging videos, food reviewers, all these kids on YouTube doing YouTube videos, opening boxes and blah blah, all of this garbage to destroy and destruct society, to turn them into brain dead individuals who have a massive following, and they think they're clever and superior, and they're making loads of money, which isn't real, blah, blah, blah. So the whole system then points to one thing, and that is to divide us, like I said in my video yesterday, to divide us from the truth, which is that everything else is a lie. Everything else is a lie. Everything external is a lie. Everything you believe about yourself is a lie. Everything you see on the news is a lie. Everything you see politically is a lie. Everything that you've ever been taught at school, university, etc. is a lie, essentially, because they design you to be a slave for the system. You go uni, you believe you're superior, or not, maybe not in a bad way, but you believe, yes, I deserve to be here, I'm going to better myself and grow and become a better person and make more money and make an impact. But the bottom line is, all the money that you're earning is worthless. It's fake, it's worthless, it has no material substance or value or backing. It's called fiat currency. Fiat essentially is light. Yeah? Dollar, deceit. So, work it out yourself. So, why was the title of this video, being with yourself, the most important or most difficult thing is to be with yourself? Because everything else in the world, as I said, is a distraction. If you can handle the fact that you are indeed the most powerful force on earth, in your world, in the world, and we're all equally the same power force or powerful force in the world, then imagine what we could do individually and collectively if we unplugged and realised that we were this slave, that we have been deceived, that everything we've ever done is a lie, or believed is a lie, or been taught is a lie. The system is a lie. So what is the point in being here? Why are we here for? We're here to identify that. We're here to recognise that. We're here to not involve the ego and push that away. And what I see in the world today, it's hypocrisy on the deepest level, because we have people in spiritual movements, people in spirituality, who, one, don't have a clue what's going on in the world, and all the spiritual naysayers, oh, he's judging me. Well, the bottom line is, if you want to take it as a judgment, that's fine, but do your own due diligence and research on what I'm saying in order to understand why I'm saying it, and stop being personally affected or personally wounded or personally taking it personally. That's your problem. If you're spiritually evolved, then you shouldn't be feeling that anyway, because you'd be able to see with compassion. You'd be able to see both sides. So come on, don't start labelling people with, oh, you're an ego. I spoke to a very famous person yesterday on Facebook, a lady on Facebook with a massive Facebook following, yesterday, millions of, well, 1 million followers roughly. But why? It's meaningless. Only 10% of those people are seeing what she's posting. You know, as per the Facebook algorithm and terms. So, okay, you've got 1 million followers. Woo, whippy-doo. Right, okay, well done, good achievement, all that. And I respect that, and that's good. But if you're going to sit there with 1 million followers, only reaching 100,000 or less, or even less than that, actually, and then only a percentage of them engaging, you know, what's the point? I mean, this world is run on more. It's run on profit over people. It's run on growing your page, growing your videos on YouTube, growing your fan base, growing your email list, growing your bank balance, blah, 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 blah. This constant, perpetual bullshit that we have to be constantly striving to do, to be, to have, to own, or not, because none of us own anything. But you're starting to see where I'm going with this. The most powerful act of rebellion that anybody of us can do is be able to be as powerful as we are and sit and be with ourselves. If we can't sit and be with ourselves, then we have no power at all, because we've caught up in the illusion, we're caught up in the distraction, we're caught up in the camaraderie of the pantomime, you know? We fell for the joke, you know, and that's what this world is. It's a joke. It's a joke that we haven't laughed at yet, because we're too busy being immersed in it, thinking it's real. You know, it makes me laugh. I mean, I turned down. I use the word turn down. I ultimately declined, based upon my conscious growth, the offer of $8 million in total in 2013, 2014. I turned it down in about 2020 inside of my own body. I was like, no, I don't need it. I realised what's happening. I realised my consciousness. I realised blah, 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 blah. I don't need it, because I'm no superior to anybody without money. I'm no superior to anybody with money. And if the money that we're talking about is worthless, then how can anything of no value add something to value me? You know, it's really that simple. Everything with a complex, you know, hive mentality foundation, like the world and the population who believe the same shit or the same thing, you know, has no value to me. We're here to have individual, unique experiences, sharing all of our God-given truths, and from our core of our soul, you know, to spread our truthful journeys, to spread our learnings, our teachings, our struggles, our failures, our successes. All of those things are successes, because only with failure can you learn success. So what is the point? The point is, like I say, to be you, to be able to sit with you and be who you are in silence, with no distractions, with no need to do anything, with no need to, you know, have a list as long as your arms complete, with no need to worry about them emails or the meetings or the work deadlines or your boss's opinion. Who cares? Who cares? You see, when you reach a level of, you know, sort of infinite spiritual ability and understanding, then you realise it's all bullshit. You realise everything you've ever been taught is a lie. And then you realise that the external was only ever teaching you the internal. So all of these people, big people in the space, you know, like spirituality or any infinite industry, if you think you're big and better and large and clever, and you actually believe that your platform and its size is a reflection of, you know, those type of things about you, you're sadly mistaken. You're sadly mistaken. Because the fundamental thing is, this world runs on commerce. Everything is commerce, everything is commercial. You weren't told that, or none of us were told that, but it's true. But if the commerce, e.g. the currency, or the currency doesn't mean what you think it means, by the way, but say the money, which also doesn't mean what you think it means, by the way, but the money in the world, if that is backed by nothing, then how can anything that you do be worth an exchange or a remuneration of nothing? Think about it. It means you're just a slave. Because if you're not getting paid anything of value, just a promissory note, an IOU, a promise to pay in the future, which is what money is, take a banknote out of your your wallet if you're in the UK and look at it. I promise to pay the bearer the sum of blah. Or in America, they will have removed that in America, I believe, on the notes, and they certainly have in Australia, but it used to be there because they're under the UK Commonwealth, but they've removed it because people are cottoning on. The little guy in the corner of your Australian banknote with the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that's Satan, by the way. No? Don't believe me? Okay. When your consciousness arrives at that level of understanding, you'll get it and you'll understand. But my point is this: we're in a war, a spiritual war between good and evil. Good and evil. And the good and evil is also not just external. The good and evil is within you too. Because we're all yin and yang. We're all, as above, so below. So at the end of the day, we must work on finding the balance of truth, realizing the external is a lie, realizing the internal feelings that we experience, although valid, may be a lie. The internal thoughts we're thinking, although valid, may be a lie. Don't absorb yourself in emotions. Don't absorb yourself in distractions. Don't absorb yourself in being a human battery, because all you're doing is grinding your own stone down, and all you're doing is grinding your own health down, and all you're doing is grinding your own emotional side down. For what? To make somebody else so-called rich with loads of promissory notes in their bank? It's meaningless. But in the meaninglessness, we find meaning. So there is no bad or good to the world, actually. There is just consciousness, clarity, and realization. And when we achieve conscious clarity through consciousness, through conscious elevation and realization, then we get the understanding of the truth of the world, fundamentally. That we are here for a purpose. It's just not the purpose that the external world sells us as the dream, because that's the lie. So the most powerful message I can give you is to be able to be able. And what I mean by be able to be able is be able to discern the lie from the truth, be able to discern unconsciousness from consciousness, to be able to realise that everything you've ever known is bullshit, to realise that the money you work for is worth nothing, to be able to sit confidently and comfortably in a healed, in a bodily state of bliss, knowing that there is nothing to strive for, there is nothing to do, there is nothing to achieve, there is nothing. And in that nothingness, there is everything. That is the most powerful part and understanding of this journey. Knowing that everything you could ever want is within you. Only true alignment is within you. Only true wealth is within you. Because you are the wealth. That's why you're the creditor. It's incredible. So I'm going to end this video now, guys and girls. Thank you for watching. If you did like this video and you understand and want more of the content like this, then please consider liking, sharing and subscribing. We're trying to grow the channel. It's brand new, and because the content we put out is heavily suppressed and very, very few views until we get to the certain milestones where the doors might open a bit. But we're always going to get a lot less views because of the content and the topics, the content that we share here. And that's fine, because we don't do what we do for views. We do what we do to resonate with the most prominent and powerful people who are meant to see the message. And that's always going to be a number which is lesser than the mass populist garbage that, you can get by doing a food review. I could go to McDonald's now and do a Big Mac burger review and get more views on that than I do on this. And what does that tell you? But am I affected by it? No. Because the right people are meant to see this message, and they will in divine time. So remember just how powerful you are and why the system is set up the way it is, to take, distract, to make you lose focus, to make you lose hope, to make you lose belief. But let me tell you this: you are everything the system fears. So take that empowerment and raise your own consciousness with the ability to sit and be in your own space. And in that energy is your power. You become untouchable when you're there. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you soon in the next video.